Now, though, I'm joined by broadcaster and presenter Shaun to go through the reviews of the top stories in the newspapers this week. And this first story is definitely one of my favourites.
It's the one story that everybody's talking about today. It's the winner of Britain's Got Talent. If you saw the show, it was won by a dancing dog.
But it was a good dancing dog.
It was a great dancing dog. This dog did all sorts of kind of routines, all sorts of things that you can't imagine a dog would do on its own.
And Simon's wanted a dog to win for a long, long time, and it was a worthy winner. I mean, it stood up like a human, and it seemed to actually perform on its own. It seemed to know the routines. I never saw her give it any treats. She seemed to give it voice commands. It was a lot of work.
Didn't seem to be led at all, did it?
No.
It just got on with it. It sort of did it. So we'll run through the headlines because there's some classic ones here for you. So on the Sunday Mirror, I've got Pup Idol Pudsey. Look at that picture. Pudsey and his working mate there, Ashley, I think her name is. On the Sun, we've got a great picture. We've got the picture of him actually dancing, standing up. The headline is Bone Idol. Aren't these great? Who writes these headlines? Can you believe it?
I've got the Sunday Express, and they say BGT winner Pudsey is now Britain's top dog, and he really is. I think well worth them winning. He was so well trained, and they must have spent hours and hours and hours to get to that sort of
And it was
talent.
actually a great final, a real good mixture. There were singers, there were dance groups, and a dancing dog, of course, took the title. So a nice story to begin with there. Now, the first serious story I've got for you today is this one again. It's in The Sun. It's page 29 of The Sun for you here. Now, this is about a counterfeit coin racket. I'm just going to read a little bit of it out to you. Police have smashed a forgery gang who plan to flood London with thousands of fake £2 coins during the Olympics. Officers raided a makeshift factory where it is alleged crooks were churning out up to 1,000 counterfeit coins per day. Now, the cops suspect the forgers were planning to circulate the fakes during the Olympics, when we've got lots of foreign visitors here. And the City of London police found a smelting machine, ingots of metal and moulds for £2 and £1 coins in a rented room in an office block. This is the bit that I like though. It says later on down in the story, it says, the forgers would put a penny over the middle of the unpainted coin and then spray the border gold.
I love the fact that our newspapers give you all the information you need. So we've caught them, but you all know how to do it in the future.
We can do it ourselves
Start
now.
off again.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. But you don't check your change. I never look at change, so they could easily give me a dodgy coin. I often end up with foreign coins without, you know, I just put it in my purse.
Well, when you think about it, you put it in your purse, the guys put it straight in their pocket. Who really looks at their change?
Quite a clever idea, but check your change. So
yes.
A warning there. I've got a sad and a happy story here. This is in the Sunday Express, and the headline to this is I Love You, Mum. Hawkins' laptop lets girl 5 speak, and it's about a beautiful little girl called Lexi, and she's got cerebral palsy. So she's 5, and she hasn't been able to communicate with her mum, her dad, her school friends, and they've managed to raise enough money to get one of the computers that Stephen Hawkins uses, and it's an eye recognition computer. I find this amazing. I really have to look into this a little bit more, but obviously the computer detects what she's looking at, and if she blinks, it will then put that letter onto the screen. Just amazing. It's £20,000 worth of laptop, and it was her dad that organised lots of fundraising to, you know, get the money for that. Makes me very sad. I know that we are really, really struggling, but it does make me very sad that you have to raise this money yourself to get this equipment that is changing someone's life, and we're spending so much on ridiculous things like fireworks for this
Millions
Olympics.
of pounds.
We seem to find this money for these bizarre things, but then there's a little girl that really needs this life-changing laptop, and fantastic. I know it's going to make her life so much better, and what a beautiful little
And
girl
it is
as
like
well.
the first time she's been able to communicate with her parents.
So yeah, and the first words were, I love you, Mum, but what she's always wanted to say as well is, Mummy, I'm bored with shopping.
Oh,
so she's
I wish you'd say that
a
now and
little
again.
cheeky, but she's a lovely little girl and a nice story.
Lovely story. Now, I seem to have all the light stories today. Well, I say light, this one's about prison, this next one. It's about Gordon Ramsay in Brixton Prison.
They've caught him at last. Is it for his swearing?
Crimes for swearing? No, it's not that. It says, Ramsay's kitchen nickmare. It looks like Gordon Ramsay has finally got his just desserts by doing some porridge. The Kitchen Nightmares star was snapped carrying his chef's whites outside Brixton jail. Ooh, lucky him. After baking bread with lags, Gordon has been filming a new TV show in Brixton Prison.
Oh. not a celebrity programme in a prison. That seems very wrong when obviously they're there for a bad reason. They've done something wrong and now we're, filming them, making them celebrities.
It just seems to glamorise it all, doesn't it?
It does. It seems very, very wrong. He does have some odd ideas. But I guess if you pay him, he'll do it.
Yes, it's one of those, isn't it? Apparently he's been struggling with a couple of his restaurants, so he's had to sell those for a few million.
So he's in the prison, so I won't be watching that one, but you might be at home.
That's it.
Now, finishing with a very, very sad story. In the Sunday Mirror, it's the headline is Jen, relative guilty over 3 murders.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember this story. It's Jennifer Hudson, and she was the singer that was in
American Idol.
Yeah, that's right. And she was in the Dreamgirls. She's actually Oscar winning, but very, very sadly, her brother-in-law had been accused of killing her mum, her brother, and her 7-year-old nephew. Just recently, it's gone into court. It took them 3 days.
And this was after she'd become famous and won an Oscar and everything, wasn't it?
So she'd got just made all that money. She'd just done really well helping the family out, and this terrible, terrible tragedy. And he has been convicted. He's been given
from within the family as well. You just can't.
There's no reasoning as to what happened, as to why they think he did it, but he has been sentenced to life in prison. Awful, her mum was 57, her brother was just 29, and like I said, 7-year nephew. Very, very sad. But the bottom paragraph is what it surprises me often in these terrible situations. The 2 sisters said in a statement after the verdict was announced, "We have all suffered a terrible loss in this tragedy. It is our prayer to the Lord that he will forgive Mr. Balfour for these horrendous acts." And that is the brother-in-law. I don't know if I could be so forgiving when someone has done such an awful thing.
Not to your family, but I suppose it's great to have that faith, isn't it?
I guess, that probably will help them get through it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Our thoughts are with them and with all their family, and we do hope that, they get over that
and get through it. Yeah.
Sorry to finish on such a sad note. Let's go back to Pudsey.
Well, I think we should finish with that fabulous picture of Pudsey the dog.
Britain's Got Talent.
Let's have a feel-good story to go out.
So thanks for joining us. I'll be back after the break, but thank you, Shaun. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Ooh, lovely stuff.